Meanwhile, the West Midlands Euro MP Nikki Sinclaire was at a protest march in Coventry over the weekend against the club's plans to play at Northampton. She says all parties need to sit down and talk.
History has shown when clubs move out of their city, it doesn't always bode well, and we don't want to take that risk with Coventry City. I believe there's a stadium there that's good and proper, and that's a stadium that Coventry City should be using from the 10th of August.
Could a key meeting today pave the way for the Sky Blues to come out of administration? The club's creditors are meeting in London and have to decide whether to agree a CVA, a company voluntary arrangement, or which is essentially an agreement of a way forward for dealing with their debts. Now, at the weekend, about 4,000 fans staged a protest in the city centre in opposition to the club's plans to move to Northampton. Here's one fan summing up the mood of the demonstration.
At least when we move from Walker Road, we're still in Coventry. It cannot be allowed to happen. It isn't just for me, it's for the people that my uncle, God bless him, who started taking me in 1956, long gone, but he'll be turning in his grave. And it's a future generation. I was one of the future generations when I was 9-year-old when my uncle took me. Well, what's going to happen now to people that can't afford to go or don't want to go? Something's got to be done. Got to be.
That's one of the fans there. West Midlands Euro MP Nikki Sinclaire was at the rally and spoke after the march on Saturday. And she joins me this morning. Morning, Nikki. Thanks for being with us. What was the mood like? How did you find the march, first of all?
I mean, it was impressive. The amount of fans that turned out and showed their passion for their city and their club. I mean, it's, as I tweeted on yesterday, I think it was, they were a credit to their club and their city. And one of the things I pointed out in my speech, that there was more fans that turned out on Saturday than there will be going to Northampton. And if that doesn't send a message to the owners in the Football League, I don't know what does.
I know you talked to people, the organisers and people like Miles Baker who were around on Saturday as well. Was there surprise at the amount of people that turned out?
I think there was, because although we went really heavy with it on Twitter and that, and from political marches, you never know how many people's going to turn out. We kind of just half expected just maybe a few hundred people would turn out, but the passion shown, the amount of people was absolutely amazing.
The problem is with this, and I mentioned this before the march as well, and I mentioned it to some of the organisers, the problem is that, it is a great one for motivating the fans, but doesn't really do an awful lot. Is there a way that you can translate the positive energy and the amount of people and the interest of the people that were there, Nikki, into something that can actually do something?
Well, I think that can happen. I think the fact that it's been reported on, the BBC and other media outlets helps, because it does put pressure on the Football League. It really does, and it does put pressure on owners. It puts pressure on, the creditors meeting today, because they know the fans' feeling. Now, there's a meeting on the 1st of August from the Football League, and what we'll be asking is for them to reverse their decision, and for some type of mediation, or refer the matter under Rule 79 to the Football Association, because, they've really got to take on board the fans' feeling here. The FA and the Football League in the past have ignored this, most notably Wimbledon, and look how disastrous that was for that club. We must keep the pressure, and I believe, the type of politics that I've followed and what I've done in my political life, we've been successful by just pressure.
When you talk to people, were there people there who, because obviously there are two camps, aren't there? And some were saying the ones who are with Sisu, and when I say with Sisu, not with them moving to Northampton, but with them generally, they want Sisu at the club, but don't want them to move to Northampton. They're obviously a considerably smaller one. Did you meet any people like that who said, look, actually, we still think Sisu, are doing an okay job. They feel they've been forced into this situation, and we're kind of against what the majority of fans were saying?
I did actually, not on Saturday, but I did actually meet some people with that viewpoint last week at Nuneaton, at the friendly between Nuneaton and Coventry. When I stood in the stands, I spoke to some people like that then. Look, the thing is what was also said in my speech, like, there's no one without blame in this. Every single person involved has got some element of blame here. It's just about time that they put that blame behind them, sat down at a table and talked about this. And I'm just calling out today to all sides. I'm happy to meet you this week. I will clear any other diary commitments to sit down and meet anyone this week and see if we can just bring this to some type of head, because August the 10th, which is the 11th, which is the weekend of Coventry City's first home game, is approaching fast. But I don't think it's too late. I think we can still turn this around, and it just needs those people that are making the decisions just to say, look, what is in the best interest of the fans and the club, and that is to stay in Coventry.
And did you get the sense of hope, just as a final point, when you talked to people? Were they still hoping that there could be a resolution before the start of the season?
Well, I'm an optimist, and there was a lot of optimists there. So I believe that we can do it, because I believe that that this can be done. As I say, it's just people putting their differences to one side and just looking at what's the benefit of the future of this club, and all we need to look at some histories. Teams like Swansea, look where they are now. We just need to get behind the team and move forward.
Nikki, thanks for being with us. Euro MP, West Midlands Euro MP, of course, Nikki Sinclaire.